welcome back to my channel. So today I need to spot clean the rat cage, and I thought I'd show you what that involves because a cage of this size with this much bedding needs to be spot cleaned about once a week and deep cleaned once a month. So when it comes to deep cleaning a cage of this size, that would involve taking everything out and then obviously wiping this, cleaning this, disinfecting everything and then putting it back in and rearranging their setup. Also taking out all of the bedding in the base of the cage and cleaning the base and then putting fresh bedding back in. To do this on a weekly basis with a cage of this size would be quite unnecessary and also quite wasteful, so that would be a deep clean. Spot cleaning, on the other hand, is just more so focusing on particular areas that get gross quite quickly, so the hammocks, the litter trays, those need doing on a weekly basis just to keep the cage going until you can do a deep clean. Obviously there's a few things to consider when it comes to things like how often to spot clean or how to spot clean. One example would be how many rats you've got. So in here at the moment I only have 3 boys, but if you have 6, 8 rats in a cage this size, you might have to spot clean a bit more often than just once a week. And also some rats are just a bit more disgusting than other rats. Some rats are really good and will religiously use their litter trays. Others will just stand at the top of the cage and pee with reckless abandon all the way to the bottom and hit everything in their path. So it does depend on how many rats and the rats you've got, if they're particularly clean or not. Boys don't have a good reputation for keeping the cage clean, so you might have to do things a bit more often. So it's actually been a little bit over a week since I spot cleaned, just because last week I had to unexpectedly go away for a while and that was quite last minute, so it definitely needs doing. And they're also 1 week away from the whole thing being deep cleaned, so the bedding on the base is not looking the best, but it's not quite ready to be all taken out and replaced just yet. So the first thing I'm doing is emptying their litter trays and filling them back up. You can't quite see, but there is one back here and also one on the base. And all I'm going to do is take these out, empty them into a bin bag, sorry bud, and wipe them, disinfect them, and then put fresh litter back in. So Crumble is actually taking a nap in the litter tray on the bottom. Come on Crumble, I need to borrow this. Come sleep somewhere a bit more appropriate. So just before I put their litter trays back, one thing I do have to do is mix all of the bedding in the base and also the bedding in their dig box, just because if the rats are not actively digging and turning this themselves, any waste that is on that bedding is going to be sat on the surface, and by mixing this all in, you can make the bedding last a bit longer. So the next thing I do is replace any fabric items with fresh ones, so things like hammocks. I do only have 2 fabric items, this hammock and this shelf, and I do that on purpose because these get pretty stinky and disgusting very quick, and I try to limit how many they have because they just pee on them, so I do need to change these for fresh ones. And I think 2 of the boys are asleep in this hammock at the moment, so I'm gonna have to be rude and wake them up. No, you have to come out if you want it. Come on. What'd you get? Come on. That's it, come on. Go. They do not want to budge. I'm going to have to do this with you inside, because you're not moving. Come on, wakey wakey. We're going down. So I've just moved a few things around, but in terms of their ledge, I've just realised I don't have any covers to replace it with. I have ordered some, they should be here soon, but I'm going to have to steal the ledge from the outside and put it inside. So the next big thing to do is wipe down any smooth or plastic surfaces, the biggest one being their Sputnik, although they've now decided to sleep in there instead, and any pee puddle that was in the bottom, they've probably soaked up with their body, which is nice, but things like that, plastic things like their dig box, might need a wipe, also like smooth bamboo things, all of that, if I can see anything that needs wiping, I will do that. Boys, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to move again. So sorry. Go into the hammock. Good boy. There you go. Follow your brother. Into the hammock. Good boy. That's better. Good boy. So after all of that, there is not actually any pee inside of this to clean after I've just bothered them to move them, but I will give the outside a bit of a wipe because there is a bit of pee on the outside. And I think Twix, my rat who passed away recently, he was the one that used to pee in this because there is not any on the inside, so he was definitely the culprit, but I will give it a bit of a wipe. Then of course are things like changing their water, which you should be doing more than once a week anyway, but today it also needs doing, and they also pee on their water bowl, which is lovely, so that needs cleaning too. So the last few things I do is just add back in some enrichment. So this is usually full of hay and I have thrown it all out, so I'm going to put some more back in. I'm also going to give them a fresh toilet roll because that one at the back is all gone. So that is essentially how I spot clean my rat cage. It is looking a lot fresher until I can deep clean it next week, and anything I've not shown, things like cleaning wooden items or ropes and things, that does tend to be more a part of deep cleaning and just doing those when they need it. But when it comes to spot cleaning, this is pretty much it, and this is pretty much what I do for them on a weekly or so basis. But I hope this has been helpful if you've been hearing people say, oh, I spot cleaned my rats, and you've not been too sure what that means, or you've been unsure of what kind of things need doing when. If not, I just hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!